Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video we are going to concentrate on the topic sources of Muslim law. There are four ancient sources. They are the Quran, the Sunnah, Ijma and Qiyas. So the Quran is considered to be the highest authority when it comes to Muslim law. Let's concentrate on each sources individually. The first source is Quran. So Quran is the first and foremost important source of the Muslim law. The word Quran means that is which is to be recited. So it consists of nearly 6,000 verses, which is also known as ayat, which were revealed by the God to the Prophet Muhammad through an angel named Gabriel in the Mecca and Medina. So the first revelation was received by the Prophet at his age of 40. The Quran has supreme authority and prevails over all the other sources of Muslim law, okay, because it is believed that it is the direct words of the God to the Prophet Muhammad. The Quran was actually not compiled into a single book during the lifetime of the Prophet. Only after his death the authoritative version of Quran was prepared by the third caliph with the help of the scribe of the Prophet himself. Okay, so hence the Quran is since the Quran is the direct words of God, it is considered to be the primary and the highest authority of source of law. Okay, then the next source of law is Sunnah. So meaning of Sunnah is tradition or way of life or action. Since the revelations, like it is the Sunnah includes the practices, conduct and action of the Prophet Muhammad. Since the revelations were given to the prophet, it is believed that his actions were in accordance with the will of the God and it will not be contradictory to the God's message. So therefore, his way of life, that is his way of action, is followed by the people and it is treated as the source of Muslim law. And the term Hadi is actually interchangeably used by people for the word Sunnah. So in case the word Hadi, like they have given a question which are the sources of Muslim law, instead of Sunnah they may give a word Hadi. In that case you should not neglect the word Hadi, you should include that and answer that question. Okay, be conscious on that. So the Sunnah forms the second most important source of Muslim law, since this was the action of the Prophet who got the direct message of God. The third source of Muslim law is Ijma. So the word Ijma means consensus of the jurist or the opinion of learned. So it means that the consensus of the opinion of Muslim jurists on a particular question of law, that is said to be the ijma. Okay, also it is based on the idea that God will not allow his chosen people to agree on an error. So when a jurist decide on particular question, he is considered to be the chosen people, so he will not make error as to that. So whatever he says will be considered as the source of law. So the jurist is also known as mustahid and he should be a Muslim person with having the adequate knowledge of law. And ijma is valid so long as it is not opposed to the Quran. In case it becomes contradictory, then ijma has no value. Okay, that also has to be kept in mind. So when new situations arise and amendment becomes necessary, this jurist will give some formal opinion to resolve such issues, and this leads to the development of law, that is ijma. Okay, also there are three types of ijma which you can take note. That is, the first one is ijma of companions, the second one is ijma of jurist, third one is ijma of people. Okay, so then the fourth source of Muslim law is Qiyas. So Qiyas, the meaning is analogical deduction from a comparison of other three sources. For example, under Qiyas, what they will do is a solution will be derived by comparing a new issue with the principles already laid down in the other three sources of law, like Quran, Sunnah, and Ijma. So it is an analogical deduction whereby they apply a rule from the known case to the unknown case, okay, based on similarity. So if there is an issue which has no solution, what they will do is they will find a similar issue and solution from the other sources, and they will apply it similarly to the new issue. That is how Qiyas was developed. Okay, so the authority of Qiyas is also derived from a hadith whereby the prophet once asked the chief justice of Yemen how he would decide a case if no guidance was given by Quran or Sunnah or Ijma. And the Chief Justice said that if there is no guidance to a particular point in the three sources, that he will proceed by the analogy using his own reason. And this was approved by Prophet Muhammad, and hence it is today considered to be a sources of Muslim law. Okay, and since Qiyas is helping in filling the gaps in law wherever the other Muslim source doesn't give a solution. Okay, that is how Qiyas was developed. Also, you have to know that Shia Muslims does not accept Qiyas as a source of law, and hence it is not binding on that sect of Muslims, whereas Sunni Muslims will consider all four sources as sources of Muslim law. So now let's decide whether custom is a source of Muslim law. So custom has never been original or primary sources of Muslim law. However, in India, when a large number of people converted to Islam, they were permitted to follow their pre-existing customs, especially in matters relating to inheritance and family relations. Because of this historical practice, custom was recognized once as an exception, but this position was later challenged and was changed by the Muslim Personal Law Shariat Application Act 1937. Specifically, the section 2 of the act says that in cases relating to succession, marriage, divorce, maintenance, dower, guardianship, gift, trust and waqf, the Muslim personal law should apply, notwithstanding any custom or usage to the contrary. So this means that customary practices were expressly overridden by the statutory law, the Shariat Act. Therefore, in the present legal position, custom is not a source of Muslim law, and the Muslim personal law applies in preference to any customary usage. So custom does not have an independent authority when it comes to the sources of Muslim law. Now, coming to the modern sources of Muslim law, there are three sources. They are precedent, equity, justice and good conscience, and the third one is legislation. This everybody knows. So this is the sources of Muslim law. Any question from this, you can attempt it easily. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe for more videos. Thank you.